Gemini, can you feel the energy shifting? Something subtle, almost unexplainable, as if the air around you is whispering something your mind can't quite grasp. Maybe in the past few days, you've suddenly thought of someone without knowing why. Maybe you heard an old song, read an old message, and your heart ached softly, not out of pain, but because your soul knows that something is about to be revealed. The truth you once sensed, wanted to understand, yet feared to face, is now slowly approaching you, Gemini. You've always been the one who could read between the lines, who could hear what wasn't spoken. But this time, even you, with all your intuition and sharp intelligence, cannot predict what's coming. Because this isn't just an ordinary conversation. This is the conversation destiny has been waiting for, where truth no longer hides behind smiles, and words become the bridge that frees both souls from the misunderstandings and silences that have worn their hearts down. Maybe someone once chose silence to protect you. Maybe they've carried unspoken words within them, and now the universe is pushing them to finally speak, not to hurt you, but to set both of you free. Sometimes, what weighs us down the most isn't the truth itself, but the emptiness of what was never said. And now, Gemini, that emptiness is about to be filled. So stay here, in this space, just you and me. No rush, no defenses. Because what's about to be revealed isn't only their story, it's a mirror reflecting the deepest part of your own soul, the part still searching for answers within. Now, make yourself a warm cup of tea, take a deep breath, and join me on this journey, a journey where every word brings you closer to the truth and closer to who you truly are. Part 1. The truth you've felt for so long is now finding its way to you. Gemini, do you feel something shifting in the air? A vague current of energy, both gentle and powerful, is moving around you. It makes your heart race a little faster, your mind restless even when nothing specific is happening. You don't know why, but you can sense that something is drawing closer. A truth, a message, a story left unfinished. And your soul, it knows. It knows that something you once waited for, once ignored, once tried to forget, is now returning, as if the universe wants you to face it one last time. Gemini is the child of communication, of conversations, ideas, and thoughts that never stop flowing. You live through words, yet you've also been hurt by what was left unsaid. There's nothing more unsettling than when someone who once connected with you so deeply through words chooses silence. When someone who used to understand you with just one look walks away without an explanation. Perhaps you've tried to stay rational, convincing yourself that it's over, that you've let go, but your soul hasn't. It's still holding on to a fragment of unspoken energy, the energy of something incomplete. And lately, you've started to notice something strange. A random old song plays, and your heart tightens. A dream takes you back to a pair of eyes you thought you'd forgotten. A number, a date, a repeating sign keeps appearing, making you wonder, is this just coincidence? But no, Gemini, nothing is ever random. When the energy of Mercury, your ruling planet, begins to move in the direction of truth, everything that was once hidden gets pulled back into the light. The universe is creating a space where unspoken words will finally be voiced, where you'll understand why everything happened the way it did. That person, or perhaps that situation, is being drawn back into your orbit, not to hurt you, but to free you from confusion. Because what hurts Gemini the most isn't losing someone, it's not understanding why they were lost. And now, that answer is coming closer. The universe is aligning you and them on the same frequency, so that the conversation that never began can finally take place. You might feel your heart growing heavy or restless for no reason. But don't be afraid, this isn't a bad omen. It's a sign that your energy is ready for the truth. When your soul vibrates this strongly, it means you're standing at the edge of a breakthrough, a turning point of clarity and release. Let those emotions flow. Don't suppress them. Sometimes, that unease is the universe's way of saying, prepare yourself. What you need to know is on its way. Gemini, you're about to hear the words you once thought you'd never hear, maybe an apology, a confession, or simply a truth that makes every missing piece finally fit. Whatever it is, open your heart. Don't predict, don't analyze, don't resist. The truth isn't coming to weaken you, it's coming to strengthen you, to remind you where you stand and what you truly deserve. And when it happens, you'll realize no silence lasts forever. Every word once swallowed, every emotion once hidden, will always find its way back when you're ready to receive it. If lately you've felt that someone's silence speaks louder than ever, leave a comment below and share your energy. Don't forget to hit like to hold this frequency. And subscribe so you don't miss the next part, where we'll explore why the universe chose this exact moment for the truth to be revealed. Now, make yourself a cup of tea, sit still, and let your heart settle, because this journey, the journey to uncover the truth your soul has long awaited, is only just beginning. Part 2. When your ruling planet Mercury illuminates what has been hidden, Gemini, everything happening around you right now is not a coincidence. There are times when the universe chooses silence, so you can learn to listen to yourself. But there are also moments when the universe decides to shine light on every secret, and that moment is now. Mercury, your ruling planet, is moving through the realm of awareness, memories, and unspoken words in Gemini's chart. This is the phase when Mercury's light shines directly into the deepest corners of your mind, where you've hidden emotions left unexpressed, memories you thought you'd forgotten, and questions that have long gone unanswered. When Mercury operates at this frequency, it opens a portal of truth, a gateway where everything once concealed begins to surface, gently but inevitably. You may notice someone reappearing, or a conversation you thought had ended opening once again. But in truth, Mercury isn't just illuminating others, it's helping you understand yourself on a deeper level. Because each time the universe brings someone back, it isn't to trap you in the past, but to help you see, how much have I changed since the last time? Gemini, you are the soul of dialogue, the one gifted with communication. Yet sometimes, even you use words as armor. You talk to avoid your true feelings. You smile to hide your sadness. You stay silent to avoid revealing too much. And now, Mercury, the god of truth, no longer allows you to hide. This planet is knocking at your heart, asking, why did you choose silence when your heart wanted to speak? That's why this phase isn't only about listening to what others have to say. It's about facing the real reason why you stayed silent. Was it fear of being misunderstood? Or did you think silence would keep the peace? But Gemini, peace doesn't come from silence. It only comes when everything is spoken with honesty and love. As Mercury illuminates this shadowed space, you'll start to see things you couldn't see before. The hidden meanings behind others' actions suddenly become clear. Unfinished stories find their closure, and through it all, you'll realize a greater truth. The universe never hides anything from you. It simply waits until you're ready to see it. All the shifts, memories, and returning people right now aren't here to test you, they're here to activate your awakening. Mercury is reconnecting you to your divine gift of communication, a language not just of words, but of understanding. The universe whispers to you, it's not about what they said, it's about what you finally understand. What matters isn't their words, but what wisdom you take from the truth itself. And perhaps you're already feeling it, a subtle shift in how you think, how you feel, how you perceive those from your past, or even yourself. That's Mercury in its healing motion, no longer the planet of fleeting words, but the planet guiding you toward the deeper meaning behind every exchange. Gemini, if you sense that the universe is trying to show you something through a dream, an unexpected encounter, or a quiet intuition, don't ignore it. Trust that Mercury is working for you, leading you toward the moment of clarity you've been waiting for. If you also feel that Mercury's energy is guiding you closer to the truth, leave a comment. I trust Mercury to help me see clearly. I trust Mercury to I am and. The dad comment. I trust Mercury to help me see clearly. And don't forget to like this video to anchor the frequency, and subscribe to continue receiving deep astrological insights made especially for Gemini, because your journey has only just begun, and the next part will reveal the cosmic signs the universe is sending you each day. Part 3. The cosmic signs that show a fated conversation is approaching. Gemini, have you started to notice the strange signs around you? There are days when you can't explain why someone's image keeps appearing in your mind so vividly. You might be working, listening to music, or just sitting in silence, and suddenly, their face appears so clear that you can almost hear their voice. You laugh it off, brush it away, and tell yourself, it's just a coincidence. But no, Gemini, the universe never moves that randomly. When Mercury, your ruling planet, reactivates the energy of communication, it opens an invisible channel between two souls. The conversation timelines that were left unfinished, the words that once hung in the air, begin to vibrate again. You can feel it not just in your mind, but in your entire energy field. Your soul becomes an antenna, tuning into the frequency of emotions left unresolved, of a story that never truly ended. And these signs, they are not coincidences. It could be a dream where that person appears, looking at you with the same eyes that never changed. It could be the numbers that keep repeating before you. 1111, 22, 22, or a familiar date that won't stop showing up. Maybe it's an old song playing in the middle of the night, right when you were thinking of them, and every lyric taps into a buried memory. That's not chance. That's the energy of connection in motion. The universe has its own language for those who know how to listen, and Gemini, you are one of the rare souls who can sense those frequencies earlier than anyone else. You don't just hear the signal, you understand it. You know when someone's energy is reaching toward you, when a soul is trying to speak words that the mouth cannot say. And this time, that energy is too strong for you to pretend you don't notice anymore. You might find yourself tempted to reopen old messages, to reread words that once brought tears to your eyes. Maybe you suddenly want to write something left unsaid. An apology, a confession, or simply, do you remember? That's Mercury guiding you to complete what was left unfinished. Every thought, every small action like that, is a door opening, leading you closer to the destined conversation. Soon, you may receive an unmistakable sign, a message out of nowhere, a call you didn't expect, or even a chance encounter on a familiar street. But when it happens, you'll know it's not random. The universe has been orchestrating that moment for a long time, waiting for both of you to be ready to face what must be spoken. Before that moment arrives, take a deep breath and prepare your heart. Don't let fear make you hide, and don't let doubt cloud your intuition, because a true Gemini is born to converse with destiny. You don't just speak with words, you speak with your soul. And soon, that very energy will open a door no silence can ever close again. If you're feeling these signals around you, the strange intuitions, the unexplainable synchronicities, or the inner urge to finally understand, then take it as a sign that you're on the right path. The fated conversation is approaching, and your soul is ready. Ready to listen, to understand, and to release. If these words resonate with you, leave a comment. I'm ready for the truth. It's more than just a phrase, it's a declaration to the universe that you are ready to receive what's meant for you. Don't forget to like this video to maintain the vibration of this connection, and subscribe to prepare for the next part, where we'll explore why they've stayed silent for so long, and what that silence truly means for you. Part 4. Why they stayed silent, and the true meaning behind that silence. Gemini, how many times have you asked yourself why they chose silence instead of saying what needed to be said? Why two people who once shared everything are now separated by a long stretch of words left unspoken? You've waited, analyzed, tried to understand, yet the more you searched for answers, the more it felt like talking to a wall. And that exhaustion, it's not just in your mind, it's in your soul. For Gemini, who lives through communication, through soul-level dialogue, silence is the deepest kind of pain. When they don't speak, you don't just feel abandoned, you feel disconnected from yourself. You start writing stories in your mind. Have they stopped caring? Are they angry? Are they hiding something? You look for clues in every gesture, every glance, every gap between words. But the harder you try to understand, the more lost you become. And at some point, you start believing their silence means indifference. But Gemini, sometimes silence doesn't mean they don't care, it means they're afraid. Afraid that if they speak, everything will fall apart. Afraid their words might hurt you. Afraid they don't have the courage to face your reaction. The reaction of someone whose heart is sharp, intuitive, and able to see through what they can't even say. They didn't stay silent because they didn't care. They stayed silent because they didn't know how to speak. And while they kept quiet to protect, you were left feeling abandoned. Ironic, isn't it? When one person chooses silence out of fear of hurting the other, the silence itself becomes the very thing that hurts the most. But look deeper, Gemini. Silence is also a language of the universe. It may not carry sound, but it carries energy, and you, with your Gemini intuition, have already felt it. You've heard the unspoken messages hidden in that stillness, the hesitation, the fear, the unreadiness. The problem was never that you misread it, but that you didn't yet understand its full meaning. The universe never lets silence last forever. When a soul chooses silence, it's often because they are being guided through their own lesson, a lesson in responsibility for their words and honesty with their emotions. And now, the energy is shifting. The universe is moving them out of fear and into truth, into a space where words no longer wound, but heal. What you may not realize is that during that silence, they too were struggling. They too heard the universe calling them, urging them to reflect, to confront what they once avoided. And now, as Mercury, the planet of communication, opens a new gateway, they are being pushed to speak, even if they tremble, even if they fear what might follow. Gemini, you don't need to chase or demand answers. They are already on their way, carrying the words that have been held back for far too long. And when that moment comes, you'll see that their silence was never empty. It was space for both of you to grow. So let your heart soften. Listen not only with your ears, but with your soul. Because sometimes Within silence, we hear the most honest voice of all, the one that speaks straight from the spirit. If you believe that sometimes silence speaks louder than 1,000 words, leave a comment. Silence speaks louder than words. And don't forget to like this video to hold this energetic connection, and subscribe to hear part 5, where we'll talk about how Gemini should respond when the truth is finally spoken. Part 5. How Gemini should face the moment when the truth is revealed. Gemini, the moment you've been waiting for is finally approaching. That conversation, the one you thought might never happen, is on its way. But this time, you're not the same person you once were. You no longer fear the truth, nor do you need to run from what once hurt you. You've grown wiser, deeper, and you now understand that sometimes it's not the truth itself that defines the fate of a connection, but how we respond to it. When that person shows up and begins to speak, don't interrupt. You, with your sharp Gemini instincts, often react instantly, analyzing every word, reading between every line, always ready with a clever reply. But this time, try something different. Stay silent. Let them speak. Let every sound, every hesitation, every breath unfold without interruption. Because sometimes the most important part comes at the end, the moment they finally gather enough courage to tell you what's real. Don't just listen with your ears, Gemini. Listen with your intuition, that sixth sense you've always had, but rarely trust. Watch their eyes as they speak. Notice how their hands move, how their breath trembles. They might be scared, nervous, or weighed down by guilt. Let your empathy hear what their words can't say. When you listen with your heart, you'll hear far more than what's spoken aloud. And when they're done, when the air between you grows quiet, that's your moment to speak your own truth. Not to argue, not to defend your pride, but to release what's been held inside for too long. Tell them how the silence made you feel, that you tried to understand, that you were hurt, that you learned to forgive, but that you still need clarity. Share what you need in order to move forward, whether that means with them or on your own path. This is your chance to rebalance the energy of communication, to remember that words are not weapons but bridges. You no longer need to use speech to protect yourself. This time, use it to heal. Speak with calmness, with compassion, with absolute honesty. Your truth doesn't need to be loud, it only needs to be sincere. And it's that sincerity that will dissolve every wall that ever stood between you. Gemini, this isn't just a conversation. It's a sacred exchange between souls, a moment where neither of you stands as right or wrong, but as two beings trying to understand and forgive. And you, with your heightened awareness, will feel it, the shift in energy when fear gives way to courage, when silence transforms into understanding. When you open your heart to receive the truth, whether it brings pain or peace, remember this: truth never comes to destroy, only to free. It releases you from assumptions, illusions, and all the guessing that once kept you afraid. It gives you back your right to know, to understand, and to choose your next chapter. And if you still feel torn between forgiveness and self-protection, between peace and pride, remember this: there is no wrong choice. But ask yourself, in that sacred moment, when the truth finally comes to light, will you choose peace, or will you choose pride? If these words resonate with you, leave a comment. I choose peace when the truth comes. And don't forget to like this video to spread the energy of understanding, and subscribe so you won't miss the final part where truth no longer brings pain, but becomes your freedom. Part 6. The liberation that comes after everything is finally spoken. And then, that moment arrives, Gemini, when every unspoken word finally finds its voice, when the silence between two souls is filled with truth, you suddenly realize that what hurt you all this time wasn't loss, it was uncertainty. It was living in that half-light, half-shadow place, where hope and fear coexisted, where you had to guess, to wait, to read between glances and unsent messages. And now that the truth has surfaced, you don't have to do that anymore. The first feeling isn't exactly happiness, nor is it sadness. It's more like when a long storm finally ends, no more thunder, no more fear, just the stillness that follows, the stillness of a soul set free. You take a deep breath and realize, now I know. Finally, I know. Whether the truth was what you hoped for or not, it becomes the medicine your heart needed to heal. Gemini, the being who carries two parallel energies, intellect and emotion, has now learned the deepest lesson. Not every truth feels good, but every truth sets you free. Because once you know, you can choose. Once you understand, you can let go. And once you let go, you finally become free. You'll notice that the mind, once filled with contradictions, is now quieter than ever. No more imaginary conversations. No more what-ifs. The universe is shifting your energy from anxious overthinking to luminous awareness, from analyzing everything to simply feeling. And in that feeling, you'll realize truth never broke you. It rebirthed you. You now understand that every person who enters your life comes with a purpose to love, to challenge, or to awaken you. That person, through their silence, their distance, and their return, has fulfilled their role. They came to teach you about boundaries, about honesty, and about loving yourself before loving anyone else. And when you see everything through that lens, there's no bitterness left. Only gratitude for the universe guiding you through this journey, shaping you into someone stronger, clearer, freer. Now, Gemini, you no longer need anyone to validate your worth. You no longer need someone's answer to know that you deserve peace, because you've found the answer within your own heart, and that is the freedom the universe always intended for you. From this moment on, you no longer live in fear of the unknown. You live in the light of understanding. Every wound becomes a lesson. Every painful word fades into a distant echo, leaving behind space for new beginnings. This is the start of an entirely new chapter 1, where you no longer chase for answers, because you have become the answer. So smile, Gemini. This journey was never about losing someone, it was about finding yourself again. You've walked through the darkness, faced the truth, and you're still here stronger, wiser, and free. If you're ready to stop guessing and start living in the light of truth, leave a comment. I'm ready for clarity. And don't forget to like this video to anchor this beautiful energy. And subscribe to continue your journey through the map of the Gemini soul, where every truth, every wound, and every lesson leads you closer to the most radiant version of yourself. Gemini, by the time you've reached this point, it means you're ready for a brand new chapter in your life. One of clarity, honesty, and liberation. Because only when you dare to face the truth can you finally step out of the endless loop of doubt and pain. The conversation the universe is bringing to you isn't just about someone else, it's about you. How you love, how you communicate, and how you learn to let go while keeping your heart kind. Remember, every truth, no matter how painful, is a light that guides your way. When you choose to receive it, you not only understand others more deeply, you understand yourself more fully. Why you react, why you hurt, and why you deserve to be loved with absolute honesty. This journey invites you to look at how you use words, how you connect, and how you maintain your inner peace amid what you cannot control. The greatest lesson today is this: silence is not the end. It's the pause that allows truth to be heard. And sometimes, what you thought was loss is actually the universe's gift, the gift of awakening, of courage, and of the purest love of all, the love you find within yourself. If this video has brought you clarity or helped you see something within your own heart, leave a comment and share your thoughts. Write, "I'm ready for clarity," to affirm that you are ready to live truthfully, and welcome all the good that's coming your way. Don't forget to like this video to keep this positive energy flowing, and subscribe so you won't miss the next astrological messages where each zodiac sign is guided back to the best, most authentic version of themselves. Thank you for spending your time walking through this journey with me, a journey of truth, emotion, and freedom. The universe always finds a way to speak to those who know how to listen, and I believe you, Gemini, are one of those souls. Always trust the light within your heart. And I'll see you in our next video.